Welcome to Healthy Sleep, part of the Healthy Sleep, Healthy Life series. I'm Dr. Lawrence Epstein. Sleep is an essential biologic drive that's necessary for life and functioning at your best. Sleep is one of the three basic pillars of health and wellness. These pillars include getting the right amount of exercise, eating a nutritious diet to maintain a healthy weight, and getting a sufficient amount of sleep. Sleep is so important that we spend a third of our lives doing it. Today, you will learn about the basics of sleep, benefits of a good night's sleep, and problems with not getting enough good quality sleep. You will also learn concrete steps to improve your sleep and will be given some tools to detect if you have a problem with your sleep. To understand the reasons for sleep and how it works, we will look at a series of questions about sleep. First, what is sleep? Sleep is a state of rest that is very different from wakefulness, but necessary in order to be fully awake. Sleep has several distinct features. These include a disconnect from our senses, so we no longer process information from the outside. A suspension of consciousness, so we are no longer aware of what's going on around us, but continued essential biologic activity that keeps our bodies running. The next question to answer is, why do we sleep? Sleep serves a number of functions. The lack of movement and muscle activity allows us to conserve energy. Sleep serves to restore us to full alertness and energy levels. The resting state reduces brain and body heat, protecting ourselves from damage. A number of activities increase during sleep. Sleep is the time that growth and body development occur. Our immune system scans for infection or damage and fights illnesses. Sleep is a time to review activities and experiences from the day, which strengthens learning and memory. So, while it looks from the outside as if not much is going on, sleep is a period of internal activity that is necessary to function at our best while awake. An important variation on the question why we sleep is, why do we sleep when we do? The timing of our sleep period is determined by the interaction of two biological systems, the homeostatic system and the circadian rhythm. Our sleep is best when the two are fully aligned. The homeostatic system is the body's way of maintaining balance. When some bodily processes, like heart rate or blood pressure, get too far away from baseline, our body will try to return us to the resting state. The homeostatic system ensures that the longer you are awake, the sleepier you will get, and the more likely you are to go to sleep. The drive to sleep, or sleep pressure, builds up and gets stronger from the time you wake up until you go back to sleep. After a full night of sleep, sleepiness is reduced and alertness is restored to its peak. The circadian rhythm is the body's internal clock. It controls the function of many of the body's systems over the usual 24-hour light-dark cycle. This system makes it more likely for us to be asleep or awake at certain times of the day. The circadian sleep-wake cycle is biphasic, meaning that there are two peaks of sleepiness. The first and biggest peak occurs during the nighttime, which we typically associate with sleep. There is a second, smaller peak that occurs about 12 hours later, usually in the middle of the afternoon. The afternoon peak gets bigger if you don't get enough sleep at night. If this happens, you notice feeling sleepy in the afternoon. During the peaks of sleepiness, it's hard to stay awake. This is a big part of the reason why it's hard to stay awake during overnight work shifts. The work shifts are occurring during our peak circadian drive to sleep. During the low points of sleepiness, when we're most alert, it's hard to fall asleep. Notice how you're most alert in the morning and in the evening. This also explains why a night shift worker may struggle to sleep during the day. When we match our homeostatic and circadian rhythms with our sleep-wake schedule, the two systems work together to produce the best quality and longest-lasting sleep. Over the course of the day, the homeostatic sleep drive builds up, increasing our likelihood of falling asleep. As the homeostatic drive builds during the afternoon and early evening, it's countered by the low circadian sleep drive and high alertness level. The two drives peak during the night, which is why we are most likely to sleep when it's dark out. The homeostatic drive tends to put us to sleep, while the circadian drive keeps us asleep through the night. There are a large number of benefits from getting sufficient, good quality sleep. We feel rested and maximally alert during the period when we want to work or learn. As one of the pillars of wellness, getting enough sleep helps maintain health and reduces the risk of developing a number of illnesses. Sleep provides the heart a time of rest, and getting enough sleep helps maintain a healthy heart. Sleeping well improves mood and reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety. Sleep optimizes mental functioning. When well rested, we perform at our best with faster reaction times and better judgment. Good sleep at night improves memory and learning and leads to better work performance and school grades. Another important question is, how much sleep do we need? The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends that adults get at least 7 hours of sleep a night, with most people requiring between 7 and 9 hours each night. Another common question is, what happens if we don't get enough sleep? There are multiple consequences of not getting enough sleep. First, you will be sleepy and won't feel alert and at your best. Attention is reduced, making it more difficult to learn new things and perform tasks optimally and safely. As a result, performance declines with decreased productivity and increased errors. Sleep deprivation increases the risk for workplace accidents and motor vehicle accidents. Sleepiness and fatigue cause hundreds of thousands of accidents and thousands of deaths on the highway each year. Because sleep is one of the pillars of wellness, sleep deprivation is harmful to your health and increases the risk of illness. People who fail to meet their sleep needs have higher rates of hypertension and cardiovascular disease. By affecting metabolism and the proper levels of appetite hormones, insufficient sleep is a factor in weight gain and the development of obesity and diabetes. Problems getting sufficient sleep increase the likelihood of developing mood problems such as depression and anxiety. People who don't get enough sleep on a regular basis have even been shown to have shorter lifespans. So let's take a closer look at how sleep deprivation affects your performance. The longer you are awake, the sleepier you get, and the worse you perform on tasks requiring attention, calculation, and decision-making. As time awake increases, performance declines, and accidents increase. One study evaluated the effect of sleep deprivation on performance by comparing it to being drunk. The study found that 24 hours of sustained wakefulness impaired cognitive ability to the same degree as having a blood alcohol level of 0.10%, which is above the legal limit for driving in every state. This helps explain why the risk of fatigue-related crashes increases the longer you stay awake. Unfortunately, we are not good at judging how sleepy we are and how impaired we are by sleep deprivation. Studies have put people on schedules of sleep restriction, allowing them to sleep only 4 or 6 hours per night. Results show that the impact on their performance continues to worsen for as long as their sleep is reduced. They do not adapt or get used to being sleep deprived. Their performance only gets worse. However, the ratings of how sleepy they are and how much they are affected by the sleep deprivation reach a plateau despite the worsening of performance. They don't feel like they are getting worse. This shows that we underestimate how we are affected by sleep deprivation. Another common question is, why don't we get enough sleep? There are multiple reasons. The most common explanation is that your behavioral choices prevent you from getting enough sleep. This is usually voluntary, meaning that you don't set aside enough time to get the amount of sleep that your body needs. The natural process of aging also can reduce your sleep. As we get older, sleep becomes lighter with more awakenings during the night. As a result, it takes longer to get the same amount of sleep. For women, menopause can be disruptive to sleep due to both hormonal changes and the hot flashes that occur during the night. Medical problems, such as chronic pain or breathing problems, can also limit the amount of your sleep. In addition, there are a number of sleep disorders that result in repetitive disruptions of sleep, even though you may not be aware of them occurring. Finally, shift work can disrupt the normal sleep-wake cycle, forcing you to try to sleep at a time of day when your body expects to be awake. Over long periods of time, shift workers tend to experience chronic sleep deprivation. The good news is that with awareness of the importance of sleep and implementation of a sleep wellness program, you can improve your sleep and reverse the effects of sleep deprivation. With sufficient amounts of good quality sleep, you'll notice improvements in your performance, productivity, and mood. This will start you down the road to improved health and wellness. Next time, we will teach you how you can improve your sleep.